Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner and welcome back to another episode of Knights of the Old Republic. So, we finished Manan, and it's time for some story time.
Yeah, what do you want?
I was wondering if you had any more war stories.
I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We razed whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice.
What do you mean?
Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition.
You could have found another way.
I have no time or patience for cowards. They deserve to be hunted down and exterminated like vermin. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later.
Later?
Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know?
Anything else?
Yeah, what do you want?
Tell me more about the Mandalorian Wars.
We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us.
If Revan had not stopped you, someone else would have.
There was no one else. The entire Republic had committed its forces behind Revan. The Sith had retreated back to their empire, and there were none else strong enough to challenge us. It looked like the entire galaxy was within our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The 2 fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars.
What happened in the battle?
It was not your ships, or your men, or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance.
The subtitles aren't that great in this conversation. Why didn't you retreat?
It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know?
Nothing more for now.
Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Any new conversations?
Yeah, what do you want?
No. Okay, we're done with Canderous. Mission. Her only conversation is to find her brother, right?
Hey there. Don't worry.
Okay. Zalbar doesn't have any interesting conversations. What about Jolie?
Got something on your mind, do you?
As you can see, I did some off-camera equipping of items. You mentioned something about your adventuring days.
Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older.
So you weren't an adventurer?
Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you?
But you've already said so much. I'm curious.
I'm not here to satisfy your curiosity. No staring at the old man. That's what the sign says, damn it. And besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history. Probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact.
Yeah, well, old people love to talk about history. Proven fact.
Oh, fine, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolie Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career.
You were a smuggler?
Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I can still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor. All the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace. But they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner. And we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade.
Was it very dangerous?
Oh, it was. I was a half-decent pilot in those days. And with the Force guiding me, we made it through some tough spots nobody else would have.
You were a pilot too?
Pilot, smuggler, several other things too. Or did you suppose I was always a crotchety hermit?
Where did you get the credits for all the supplies?
Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just knew had more than they could use.
So you stole it?
Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember.
What happened then?
Well, as it happens, getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day
That was the day you what?
well, that was the day I met my wife.
Your wife? You were married?
You know another way to get a wife? But yes, that's when I met her. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. My mouth is starting to draw flies. Got something on your mind, dude?
So what do you think of Sunry's verdict?
Innocent. I don't know what to make of it, to tell the truth. Do you think justice has been done?
No, not really.
But that has little to do with the law, doesn't it? A sad state of affairs, that. Too bad, really. Sunry was a good man once. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches. Got something on your...
Okay, nothing else. Okay, Julie's done. Did you make me a programming spike? No. Damn, that takes a while. What about you, Juhani?
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Tell me more about your past.
Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that.
Please do.
In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds.
Near the world your species comes from?
KOTOR was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world. slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran.
How did it happen?
They swooped down from space, across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed.
Is this what Canderous was talking about, of the Mandalorians attacking the outer worlds first? Why did the Republic not help you?
We were not members of the Republic. KOTOR was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All
Smart.
other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it.
What about your family?
My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard.
How did your family cope?
My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die.
He died?
Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now.
What about
How
now?
may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What happened after your father died?
After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her.
How so?
When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day.
Did she die?
She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris.
They captured you?
They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credit for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians.
And they freed you?
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream.
What was the dream?
I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine, and we both know what has happened since then.
You became a Jedi.
I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand. How may
Anything
I be
else?
of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Nothing for now.
Of course.
Okay. We're done with Juhani. So that leaves Karth and Bastila.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Tell me why you want revenge on Saul so badly.
I already told you, he betrayed us all.
It just seems to be more personal than that, is all.
Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it.
I asked, didn't I?
It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time.
That's terrible, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Of course not, how could you? I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them. And I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left.
What was she like, your wife?
She had courage, and she was stubborn. Could never talk her out of anything once she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. Now, I had planned on leaving soon, to join her.
So what happened to your son? You didn't say.
His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Let's continue with what we were doing. Yes, what's on your mind?
Okay, nothing else? Okay, Bastila is the last one.
How can I help?
You wish to talk to me?
I do. I've been watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zaha.
How can you watch me if I don't bring you along? Weird. I think we both know the real reason you've been watching me.
You never give up, do you? I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think. You have a great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force, and I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it.
I make you tremble. Do you get all tingly inside too?
What? No, of course not. Not like that anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy, or you could bring untold destruction upon us all. I've seen how you've resisted many temptations and continue to walk the path of the light side. Very commendable. But I'm afraid you might stray from this path. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety. For it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of a Jedi Master can truly explain this. But I will do my best to make you understand.
What are you trying to tell me?
The dark side is not simply giving in to anger, temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for.
You seem to know that temptation very well.
I am no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side. Millions dead, and far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly?
Are you saying the light side is innocent of killing?
One who serves the light does not strike down an innocent. We take arms against the dark side and the injustice that follows it only. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror,
that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause? To use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying.
Do whatever is required, such as...
I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side. But I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Anything
How
else?
can I help? Then I...
Okay. We're done. So our next target is Tatooine or Korriban. We're going to Tatooine first. This was a shorter story time than the previous one, but still long. There's not much left until the episode ends. We're probably going to be attacked by Sith fighters. Oh?
Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's.
Sure, it took you a while to figure that out, that he died.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend.
Stop wrecking the ship, Bandon.
Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
Yeah, I think we're under attack. Oh no, we're not. Never mind. Just taking another nap. There's the star map. Inside some sort of cave. Here we go, Tatooine.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Revan and Malak. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes.
It looked like it was inside some kind of cave.
The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Okay. Let's go on to Tatooine. I don't think I'll need T3 for this, so let's bring Jolie and let's bring Bastila.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve. After some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this.
What do I get for my 100 credits?
The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses.
Is there any way you could reconsider the fee?
I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world.
The money I save, I'll spend in your stores.
That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
I need good paying work. What is there to do?
It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them.
I'm looking for very specific things. Who should I ask?
That's not much information. Could you tell me more?
I'm looking for older things, antiques, artifacts.
You a digger? I've heard of ruins being found now and then, but they've always been stripped by sand people soon after. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I guess you could ask around, but I doubt you'll learn anything different. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know.
Actually, I really need to get going.
As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
I'm here.
Oh, that's right, we can level up Bastila. Sure, you can get some wisdom. Let's see, force immunity paralysis. You can have improved flurry, I guess. And speed. And maybe destroy droid for you. It's a pretty useful power. Still can't do the other ones. Let's get some armor here. And I think I'll change your script to... no, this will work.
Yes?
Excuse me, I know it's been a very long time, dear, but aren't you Bastila, Helena's little girl? Yes, it is you. I can see it in the eyes. My, how you've grown.
I take it that you know my mother?
Oh yes, I worked for your father on an expedition years ago. Your mother showed me hollows of you before you... well, before you left. Such a pretty little girl you were.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Don't be rude, Bastila. Oh, I didn't mean to take up your time. I just wanted to ask you if your mother's condition has improved any since I saw her.
My mother's condition?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better go call somebody! No, not really. Oh dear, I just thought you... I assumed that she had found you. When I talked to her last, she was desperate to find you.
Since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did she say anything about my father?
I'm sorry, dear, but your mother is very ill, so she told me. She didn't say anything about your father, however. I didn't see him.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
She's here on Tatooine, dear, in the cantina. You really should go see her, considering her condition. I guess we should go see your mother, Bastila.
Part of me would rather not see her at all. But if she's really sick, well, we shall see.
Well, this is part of the reason I brought Bastila. Although I didn't remember an event would trigger once we left. Hey there, Miktunanjus Orgu? Who that? Turn it, you Gandafasca. Customers are talking. That's better. Hello, customer. Buy from Miktunanjus and save your credits. Yes, save, because you never know when situations turn all around. Look at Zerka. We hear, well, things are not well on Outpost Kashyyyk. We're sure you know. Just show me what you have for sale. Yes, of course. We don't want to keep you from your important business. Please, have a look. Yusani's brands. Jamo Hogger's Carbine. Bothan Sensory Visor. Karakan Gauntlets. Thermal Shield Generator. Bantha Fodder. Oh, let's take that. I think I'll need that. Giska Poison. Yeah, this is a quest item, but we're not going to use it, since this is Dark Side. We're about to know what these Giska are, I think. I think it's in this planet, right? Let me just go sell a bunch of stuff here. I don't need this. Or these. I have enough double-bladed lightsabers. Keeping the crystals. Get rid of the heavy blasters. I equipped all my guys with this kind of stuff. We can keep these. Okay. Hello there, Captain. Let's see. Ah, yes. Here it is. It looks like the shipment has been delivered to your ship as requested. What shipment? What are you talking about? This is docking bay 32, isn't it? Yes, it is. And that's what I have here on the requisition form. Everything seems to be in order. The Giska are your problem now. Excuse me, did you say Giska? It says right here on the manifest that you order the crate of Giska to be delivered to docking bay 32. Now all I need is your thumbprint for the... Wait a second, where did the datapad go? Ah, nothing is ever organized here. At any rate, the Giska are yours. One of the loaders had the crate split open once he put it in your holds. Some of the critters might have gotten loose. That happens, I'm afraid. We don't accept liability, and we certainly couldn't take the cargo back. Enjoy! Well, that's something to deal next episode. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed some more Knights of the Old Republic, and I'll see you all next time.